Mental rehearsal is an amazing thing. It's something that sports people use. I mean, it's been demonstrated to be hugely effective in neurorehabilitation. You know, people have had a stroke. Most of the time, most of the research has been done on sports. And when a sports person might imagine repetitively a particular movement. Now, I'd taken up tennis, living in a town called Dunblane, famous for Andy Murray and Jamie Murray, the former world number ones. Now, I would never play tennis in my life, and when I first tried, I was awful at it, and I was getting beat all the time. And I decided after like two or three seasons of the leagues, and I was always like second bottom of the league, technically the second worst tennis player in Dunblane. And you know, after a while, getting beat 6-love, 6-1 every time is demoralising. And I thought, you know, I'm going to science it up. I'm going to bring visualisation, stuff that I teach other people. You know why? I'm going to do it myself. So I started repetitively. I picked the most difficult shot, which is a serve. Most people think you just go that with a tennis serve, you just hit the ball flat. That's not a serve. A pro serve is very technically difficult. You turn on your side and you turn the racket side on and you sweep the ball. You sweep the racket over the ball. It's the second, apparently it's the second most complex manoeuvre in all of sport, second only to the pole vault. So I thought, I'm going to learn, I've got 4 weeks to the league season starts, I'm going to learn to do the tennis serve. So I visualised, I decided I would do like 20 a day, 10 visualisations into one service box, 10 into the next. But after 2 or 3 days, it was so difficult because I didn't have what's called a mental representation. What that means is you need to know what you're imagining, what you're visualising. Now, if you've never done a tennis serve before, how can you visualise doing it correctly? So I used a little trick of neuroscience, which is called action observation. And it means that if you repetitively observe an action being done correctly, like with top professional, for example, but I mean hundreds of times, really, then your brain processes it to an extent as if you're really making that exact movement you're observing, providing you do it enough times. It's been shown to be hugely effective in rehabilitation, but also more recently in sports. So I got a video 4 or 5 seconds long of Andy Murray serving a ball at about 125 miles an hour, and I watched it without a word of a lie 3,000 times over a month. I can say that exactly because for 30 days I watched it 100 times a day, just rolling it over 5 seconds loop like that. And see, after 3 or 4 days, visualization was exceptionally simple because the image was so clear in my head. I now had the mental representation. Now, action observation alone improves performance massively, but it's even better if you couple that with visualization. So now I started visualizing my 20 serves every day. And I did this like for a month. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I won the league. Now, I'm not a brilliant top-class tennis player. We're talking about the 4th division here, you know, which is where you land when you've never played tennis before. But I went from, you know, the bottom, kind of second bottom, to winning the league, having only done that. The only difference in my game was that 4 weeks of visualization.